Have you ever felt the weight of loneliness? Like no matter what you do or who you're with, something's missing? Life is tough, right? We're constantly told to keep going. But what happens when the path gets unclear, when the people around us start draining us, and when the life we're living feels stuck? The truth is, being happy alone doesn't just mean being okay with solitude. It means embracing it. It's about finding peace within yourself, creating joy from within, and building a life where your own company feels like a treasure. You're going to face challenges, and sometimes the hardest thing you'll ever do is let go. Letting go isn't about giving up. It's about making room for the life you truly deserve. Let me ask you, how much longer will you hold on to things that no longer serve you? In today's video, we're diving into how you can unlock the secrets to being happy alone. Whether you're single, living alone, or simply seeking more fulfillment in your own space, these simple yet powerful steps will help you cultivate true happiness without relying on others. Let's start this journey together, because happiness is an inside job. We've all been there, feeling weighed down by things or people in our lives that aren't contributing to our growth. But the truth is, letting go isn't the same as giving up. In fact, it's one of the most powerful things we can do for ourselves. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a decision to grow. When we hold on to something, whether it's a relationship, a habit, or situation, that's no longer serving us, we're often preventing ourselves from moving forward. Growth requires us to make space for new things, new opportunities, new relationships, new experiences. But when we cling to the past or the things that drain us, we're effectively holding on to stagnation. Letting go, then, is actually about creating room for better things that align with where we are now and where we want to go. Have you ever felt like you were stuck in a toxic cycle? Maybe you're constantly giving your time, energy, or love to people who don't appreciate it. You pour yourself into situations or relationships only to feel drained and unfulfilled. What is it costing me to hold on? The price of staying in a toxic cycle can be high, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. By not letting go, you might be sacrificing your peace of mind, your happiness, or your sense of self-worth. Being stuck can leave us feeling trapped. And often, the longer we stay in a toxic situation, the more we lose sight of the person we are or the person we're becoming. Letting go is a way of protecting yourself from further harm, giving yourself a chance to heal, and reclaiming your peace and power. What would it feel like to break free from that cycle? To stop feeling like you're constantly pouring from an empty cup? It would feel liberating, wouldn't it? Breaking free isn't easy. It requires you confront your fears, your doubts, and your attachments. But the moment you decide to let go, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing to invest in your own happiness and well-being instead of continuing to sacrifice them for others. This is where real empowerment comes from. It's the decision to no longer let situations or people dictate your worth or your happiness. At the heart of letting go is self-love. It's the recognition that you deserve more than what you're settling for. It's about treating yourself with the same compassion, respect, and care that you so freely give to others. When you let go of what no longer serves you, you're saying, I love myself enough to move on. It's not about abandoning your past. It's about freeing yourself from it so you can step into a future that reflects your worth and your growth. It's about giving yourself the grace to evolve into the person you are meant to become. Take a moment to ask yourself, what is it costing me to hold on? Is it costing you your peace of mind, your health, your happiness, your future? Sometimes we stay attached to things out of fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of change, or fear of being alone. But the real cost is often higher than we realize. When we hold on too tightly, we miss the chance to experience the life we truly deserve. Letting go gives us the chance to be free, to let the universe or life bring us what we really need. Sometimes, what we're holding on to is just a placeholder for the real blessings that are waiting for us. Letting go is an act of courage, of trusting that better things are ahead. It's not about giving up. It's about embracing the unknown, making room for growth, and showing up for yourself in the most loving and empowered way. When you make the choice to let go, you are not walking away from something. You are walking toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. And that, my friend, is worth it. We all encounter people in life who don't uplift us. Those who drain our energy, sow seeds of doubt, or simply don't believe in our potential. Maybe it's a friend, a partner, or even a family member who consistently undermines you, whether directly or subtly. Over time, these individuals may begin to shape how we see ourselves and how we navigate the world. They get a seat at our table, sometimes without us even realizing it. And when they do, we start to let them influence our emotions, decisions, and ultimately our self-worth. But here's the important question. Why are we giving them that power? Why allow someone else's negativity to dictate our happiness, success, and inner peace? Think about it. How often have you compromised your own dreams or desires to avoid conflict, or because you felt you had to seek validation from someone who didn't truly support you? It's not uncommon to hold on to these toxic relationships out of a sense of loyalty, fear of confrontation, or because you're used to them being in your life. But in the end, they become an anchor, holding you back from reaching your full potential. Imagine if you could cut out the energy drainers from your life. Those people who leave you feeling exhausted after every conversation, instead of inspired and motivated. What if you made the conscious decision to stop letting them take up space in your mind and heart? When we allow negative influences to persist in our lives, it's like we're constantly pouring energy into a bottomless pit, never seeing any return. The emotional toll is real, and over time, it wears us down. We start to doubt ourselves, feel less confident, and even become less motivated to chase our goals. But now, picture the flip side. Imagine how much more vibrant, focused, and empowered you would feel if you made a choice to only surround yourself with people who truly believe in you, those who celebrate your growth, encourage your dreams, and remind you of your strengths when you forget them. What if every person at your table was someone who truly wanted to see you rise? When we fill our lives with people who genuinely care about our success, we create an environment where we can thrive. Energy is contagious. Just as negativity can drain us, positivity and support can uplift and propel us forward. You don't need to be surrounded by hundreds of people. You just need a few who truly have your best interests at heart. Think about how your life would shift if the people around you were those who saw your potential, encouraged your ambitions, and reminded you of your worth. It's not about perfection, but about mutual respect, trust, and care. These are the relationships that nurture growth, that help you overcome setbacks, and that cheer you on even when the world feels tough. The idea here isn't about burning bridges or cutting people off abruptly. It's about making a choice, a conscious choice to value your peace, your self-worth, and your aspirations more than the toxicity that may have once been a part of your life. It's about drawing boundaries and setting the tone for the kind of people you want to share your energy with. What would it feel like to free yourself from the emotional baggage that comes with toxic relationships? How much lighter, more focused, and more confident could you become? It's time to make space for the people who will lift you up, for the people who genuinely want to see you shine. You deserve a table full of positivity, love, and respect. The choice is yours. Learning to love yourself is often one of the most challenging, yet transformative journeys we can undertake. In a world filled with external pressures, societal expectations, and the constant bombardment of curated lives on social media, it's easy to lose sight of who we truly are. But the essence of self-love lies in the ability to accept yourself, flaws and all, without seeking validation from others. Why is this so difficult? It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that love and acceptance can only come from others. We often attach our worth to external factors, like the approval of friends, family, or partners. However, the core of self-love is learning to validate yourself, embracing your uniqueness, your quirks, your strengths, and even your weaknesses. Self-love isn't about being perfect, but about being whole and at peace with yourself. At the heart of self-love is the ability to be okay with being alone. For many, the idea of solitude can feel overwhelming, even frightening. Why are we so afraid of being alone? The fear of being alone often stems from deeper insecurities and societal conditioning. We are told from a young age that happiness comes from relationships with others, be it romantic partners, friends, or family. We may feel incomplete without someone by our side, convinced that the presence of others will fill a void within us. But this mindset traps us in a cycle of dependency. Why do we keep telling ourselves we need others to be whole? Is it possible that this fear of being alone is preventing us from discovering our full potential? True growth comes when we learn to embrace solitude as an opportunity for reflection, healing, and personal development. When we stop looking to others to complete us, we open ourselves to the possibility of discovering our inner strength and independence. The fear of being alone often holds us back from realizing who we truly are. When we constantly seek external validation, we never fully tap into unique power within ourselves. What would it look like if we freed ourselves from this fear? Imagine a life where your happiness isn't reliant on the approval of others. Imagine waking up every day feeling whole, knowing that you are enough just as you are. When you learn to find peace within yourself, you free yourself from a need to prove anything to anyone. This is where true freedom lies. When we stop relying on others to shape our identity, we begin to discover our true potential. The journey of self-love isn't about seeking perfection. It's about being comfortable with who we are unconditionally. In this space, we are no longer confined by the fear of loneliness or judgment. We become empowered to pursue our dreams, make bold decisions, and live authentically. What would your life look like if you found peace within yourself first? What if, instead of constantly seeking external sources of comfort, you learn to cultivate that peace from within? Finding peace within yourself is the ultimate form of self-reliance. When you rely on yourself for emotional stability and self-worth, you no longer become swayed by the fluctuations of external circumstances. You become the anchor in your own life. No matter what happens around you, the peace you've cultivated within yourself will keep you grounded. This is the essence of self-reliance, trusting in your ability to navigate life's challenges without feeling the need to rely on others for your sense of security or happiness. The road to self-love and self-reliance is not always easy, and it certainly doesn't happen overnight. It requires a commitment to self-awareness, self-reflection, and self-compassion. But as you take each small step towards loving yourself and becoming self-reliant, you unlock the true power of your potential. Remember, you're not defined by the opinions of others, nor are you incomplete without someone else. You are already whole. Embrace your journey. Love yourself unconditionally, and allow your inner peace to guide you to a life of true freedom and fulfillment. Letting go is a concept that many of us find difficult, especially when it comes to relationships, old habits, and beliefs that have shaped us for a long time. However, true letting go is not about shutting people out of our lives or disregarding the past. Instead, it's about creating space for new opportunities, healthier relationships, personal growth, and a brighter future. One common misconception about letting go is that it means we have to completely cut people out of our lives. But in reality, letting go isn't about burning bridges. It's about making room for change in a way that doesn't harm others. It's about recognizing when a relationship, situation, or belief is no longer serving your well-being. It doesn't mean you no longer care, but it's about prioritizing your mental and emotional health so that you can move forward with purpose. Sometimes, it's simply about allowing people to be who they are without dragging the past into the present. In relationships, letting go means releasing the need to control how others behave or thinking that you must carry emotional burdens that don't belong to you. Letting go means giving people the freedom to grow and evolve, just as you're striving to do. When we hold on to old experiences, past hurts, or outdated beliefs, we are unconsciously limiting the new possibilities that life can offer. By letting go, we free ourselves from emotional baggage that keeps us stuck. New opportunities, whether in our careers, personal lives, or spiritual journeys, can only come to us if we clear the emotional space to accept them. It's like decluttering a room. Once the old, unnecessary items are cleared away, we suddenly see the possibilities of how we can arrange the space to serve us better. Similarly, letting go opens a door for fresh, exciting experiences and allows us to pursue new dreams that were previously obscured by our emotional clutter. Letting go also means letting go of old patterns in how we relate to others. If we continuously operate from past wounds or hold grudges, we bring those unresolved feelings into new interactions. But by letting go of past emotional baggage, we allow ourselves to engage more openly and authentically with those around us. When we let go of the belief that relationships are supposed to follow certain rules or timelines, we give ourselves permission to experience love, trust, and connection in more authentic and fulfilling ways. Sometimes the strongest relationships are the ones where both people have had to let go of old expectations and are simply willing to embrace the present moment. This is one of the most important aspects of letting go, shedding beliefs and behaviors that hinder personal growth. Many of us hold on to limiting beliefs that were formed in childhood or during difficult experiences, beliefs like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I don't deserve happiness. These beliefs, while familiar, keep us stuck in cycles of self-doubt, fear, and stagnation. Letting go of these old beliefs means we are opening ourselves up to new possibilities and new ways of thinking. It's about acknowledging that who we were yesterday does not define who we are today or who we can become. It's the freedom to redefine our narrative and step into a more empowered version of ourselves. Think of emotional clutter like the stuff that piles up in your house over time. Papers you don't need, clothes you no longer wear, items that take up space but no longer add value. Emotional clutter operates the same way. Old wounds, unresolved conflicts, grudges, or past regrets take up valuable emotional space. How much of this clutter are you carrying? Is it weighing you down, holding you back from experiencing joy, love, and success? Are you making space for the present, or are you living with the ghosts of the past? Sometimes we get so attached to our past stories, beliefs, and even our pain that we don't even realize how much emotional weight we're carrying. Letting go of this clutter isn't easy, but it is necessary for growth. It's about choosing what you want to keep with you and what you can let go of in order to move forward. There will come a point in everyone's life when they need to ask themselves, is it time to let go? Is it time to release the past so that you can embrace new possibilities? Are you ready to clear out what no longer serves you in order to make room for the new? Letting go can be as simple as recognizing that some relationships, habits, or old stories no longer serve your best interests. It's about releasing attachment and welcoming the possibility of transformation. The process of letting go is not an overnight transformation. It's a journey. But when you allow yourself the courage to release what no longer fits, you make room for healing, growth, and ultimately, a life that is more aligned with who you are becoming. The power of letting go is about emotional liberation. It's not about rejecting people or experiences, but about creating space for what serves your highest good. By clearing away emotional clutter and limiting beliefs, we allow ourselves to grow, connect, and live more fully. In a world that constantly pushes us to seek approval, attention, and validation from others, it can be easy to fall into the trap of measuring our worth by the standards set around us. Whether it's through the number of likes we get on social media, the accolades we earn, or even the opinions of people closest to us, we often define ourselves by the external things that we believe reflect our value. But here's the real truth. You are enough just as you are. Your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval, and it isn't defined by what you do or how many people notice you. You are complete, whole, and valuable simply by existing. When we learn to recognize and embrace this truth, something remarkable happens. The world around us starts to change. When you stop relying on external validation to feel good about yourself, you begin to find peace in your own company, and confidence grows from within. This is when you stop seeking validation in things or others, and instead start living with a sense of internal strength and assurance. Your actions are no longer motivated by the desire to impress others, but by the pure intention to be the best version of yourself for your own fulfillment. Consider the idea of being whole. Often, we feel incomplete, as if we need something else, someone else's approval, for example, to feel complete. But that is a misconception. You're not a puzzle that needs outside pieces to fit. The pieces of who you are already inside of you. You are not a project to be fixed or an equation to be solved. You are a person who is valuable, worthy, and enough, regardless of the things you accomplish or the opinions others have of you. What if you didn't need anyone's validation to feel worthy? What if you could live your life knowing that your worth is inherent, not dependent on external sources or external measures? How would that change your life? How would your day-to-day actions change? Would you stop trying to prove yourself and instead start living authentically from a place of self-assurance? The truth is, true validation comes from within. It's about how you see yourself, how you treat yourself, and how you nurture your own sense of worth. This doesn't mean that you should reject the value of relationships or constructive feedback. It means that you don't need approval to be worthy of love, success, or peace. Your worth is not conditional on others' praise or acceptance. Instead, it's about realizing that you are valuable because you are human and because of the inherent qualities that make you unique and special. When you realize you are enough, there's a profound shift. You no longer spend your energy chasing validation or trying to prove your worth. Instead, you shift your focus towards the things that matter. Living with purpose, nurturing your passions, and cultivating meaningful relationships that add value to your life. This shift also leads to more peace within yourself. When you stop looking for approval from others, you stop allowing outside forces to dictate your sense of self. You develop a quiet, steady confidence that comes from knowing without doubt that you are worthy exactly as you are. Let go of the need for approval. Recognize when you are seeking validation from others and ask yourself why. Is it because you feel like you're not enough on your own? Take a moment to remind yourself that you are whole as you are. Build internal confidence. Focus on what makes you feel proud of yourself. Acknowledge your small victories, your resilience, and the things you love about yourself. Celebrate these without waiting for someone else to do it for you. Practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with kindness, especially during moments of doubt. You are allowed to make mistakes, and those mistakes do not define your worth. You are human, and that alone makes you valuable. Surround yourself with positive influences. While you don't need others to validate you, it's important to surround yourself with people who lift you up and support your journey. Positive relationships can help reinforce the truth that you are enough. Reflect regularly. Spend time in self-reflection, journaling, or meditating. Ask yourself, do I truly believe that I am enough? And if not, explore what beliefs or fears are holding you back and gently challenge them. Letting go of toxic people isn't just a form of self-care. It's an essential act of self-preservation. Sometimes we hold on to relationships out of a sense of obligation or because we fear the discomfort that comes with letting go. However, stepping back from individuals who drain our energy and hinder our personal growth is not selfish. It's a necessary decision for our mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. When you decide to distance yourself from someone toxic, it's about protecting your peace and well-being. It's easy to feel guilty, as though you're abandoning someone or being self-centered, but in reality, it's a form of respecting yourself. Relationships, whether they are with family, friends, or colleagues, should add value to your life, not subtract from it. If someone consistently makes you feel drained, inadequate, or disrespected, the act of stepping away is an important choice for your emotional health. Healthy relationships encourage growth. When you surround yourself with people who uplift you, you feel empowered to pursue your goals, develop new skills, and challenge yourself. Toxic individuals, however, may undermine your growth by creating doubt, belittling your achievements, or pushing you into situations that harm your self-esteem. Ask yourself, are they cheering you on or are they holding you back? If they aren't fostering your growth, then they may not belong in your life. Every person has boundaries, lines that protect their time, energy, and emotions. A key aspect of healthy relationships is mutual respect for these boundaries. Toxic people, on the other hand, may disregard your needs and overstep those boundaries, whether emotionally, mentally, or physically. Constantly giving into someone else's demands or needs without regard for your own can lead to burnout and resentment. It's okay to assert your boundaries and remove people from your life who continually ignore or violate them. Many people hold on to toxic relationships because they worry about the impact it will have on the other person. They fear confrontation or think that cutting ties might cause emotional pain to the other individual. But the real question is it worth sacrificing your happiness, peace, and mental health just to keep someone else comfortable? Your happiness matters. You don't need to stay in unhealthy situations for the sake of others, especially if their presence in your life is causing more harm than good. Remember, choosing your well-being is not a selfish act. It's a necessary one. Staying in toxic relationships can take a significant emotional toll. Constant negativity, manipulation, or emotional abuse can lead to feelings of anxiety, self-doubt, and depression. The weight of a toxic relationship can also prevent you from experiencing the joy and fulfillment that healthier, more supportive relationships provide. Letting go may be difficult, but it's a step towards healing and creating space for more positive connections in your life. In the long run, letting go of toxic people is an investment in your future happiness. It opens up the possibility of new, healthier relationships that align with your values, support your growth, and contribute positively to your life. While it may feel difficult in the moment, Stepping away from negativity is an empowering choice that gives you the opportunity to build a life that is not weighed down by toxic influences. Letting go of toxic people is an act of courage, self-respect, and self-preservation. It's not about being selfish. It's about recognizing that your happiness, peace, and growth are paramount. By setting boundaries and choosing to prioritize your own well-being, you make room for healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. Letting go is difficult, but it is often the first step towards finding true emotional freedom. So, the next time you feel guilty for distancing yourself from someone who brings negativity into your life, remember, you're not being selfish. You're protecting your mental health, your happiness, and your future. Forgiving yourself can seem like one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're carrying the weight of guilt, shame, or regret. It's common to look back on past mistakes and feel like you failed, that you hurt others, or even yourself in a way that can never be undone. But here's the truth. Holding on to that guilt doesn't change the past. It only locks you in a cycle that prevents you from growing and moving forward. We all make mistakes. It's part of being human. But for some reason, we tend to be much harsher on ourselves and on others. When we mess up, we may spiral into self-blame and self-criticism, often asking, how could I have been so careless? Or, why didn't I do things differently? These thoughts trap us in the past and stop us from seeing the possibility of change or improvement. This negative self-talk can create a sense of being stuck, frozen in the moment of our mistake. The problem is, when we hold on to guilt, we remain tethered to the past. We're constantly looking behind us instead of ahead. This makes it harder to move forward, harder to grow, and harder to find peace within ourselves. But what if forgiving yourself could actually be the key to unlocking your future? To forgiving others, we must first forgive ourselves. If we cannot release ourselves from the burden of regret, we may find it harder to extend that grace to others. Self-forgiveness is essential for personal growth. It allows us to acknowledge our mistakes, learn from them, and then let go. Self-forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring or excusing the mistakes we've made. It means accepting that we are human and that errors are inevitable. It means taking responsibility for our actions, learning from them, and then giving ourselves permission to move forward. Forgiving yourself is not always immediate, and it's certainly not easy. It takes time and effort. But here's a breakdown of the key steps that can help guide you through the process. Acknowledge and accept the mistake. The first step in forgiveness is to acknowledge what happened and take responsibility for it. This may be uncomfortable, but it's necessary for healing. It's important to admit that you made a mistake, but remember that the mistake does not define you. It's part of your journey, not the end of your story. Understand the emotion behind the mistake. What led you to make the decision or take the action you regret? Understanding the emotions and circumstances behind your choices can help you find compassion for yourself. Were you under pressure? Were you acting out of fear, insecurity, or desire to please others? Recognizing these factors allows you to approach your mistake with empathy rather than judgment. Learn from the experience. Mistakes are only truly failures if we don't learn from them. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this situation? What lessons can you extract from your regret? What can you do differently in the future to ensure that you don't repeat the same mistake? This reflection helps turn your pain into personal growth. Release the guilt. Guilt is a powerful emotion, but it is also a paralyzing one. After you've acknowledged your mistake and learn from it, it's time to release the guilt. Guilt keeps you in the past, but forgiveness allows you to be free. This doesn't mean the guilt will disappear immediately, but actively choosing to let go of it helps to free your heart and mind. Give yourself permission to move on. Once you've taken responsibility for your actions and learn from them, it's important to give yourself permission to move forward. You are not the sum of your mistakes. Your potential is far greater than one regret. Allow yourself to heal and focus on the future with hope, not shame. Be kind to yourself. Self-forgiveness involves showing yourself the same kindness you would offer a loved one. If someone you cared about made a mistake, would you condemn them forever? Or would you comfort them and encourage them to do better next time? Be gentle with yourself. Remember that self-compassion is just as important as self-discipline. Forgiving yourself is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a courageous decision to stop living in the shadow of your past mistakes and to move forward with clarity and purpose. When you forgive yourself, you release the grip that guilt has over your life, opening up space for healing, growth, and new opportunities. The act of forgiveness doesn't negate the consequences of your actions, but it frees you from the emotional prison you may have created in your mind. It allows you to live in the present, not the past. It's not about erasing the past. It's about learning from it and choosing to live your life more consciously, more kindly, and more aligned with your true self. So, what would it take to forgive yourself? It takes acknowledging your humanity, accepting the lessons learned, and choosing to move forward. It's a process that requires patience, self-compassion, and a commitment to healing. Forgiving yourself is one of the most important gifts you can give to yourself because it's the first step toward true freedom. Freedom from guilt, from the past, and from the weight that keeps you from becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, the past does not define you. You have the power to shape your future, one forgiving step at a time. Change is one of the most inevitable and sometimes uncomfortable aspects of growth. As we evolve, we might notice that those around us respond differently, and not always in the way we expect or hope for. It's a natural part of the process. Growth often requires a shift, and not everyone will be ready or able to understand that shift immediately. In fact, some may even feel threatened by it. When you start to grow, whether it's personally, professionally, spiritually, or in any other way, it often means you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You might be making choices that are unfamiliar to others, and this can make them uneasy. They might not understand why you're doing things differently, why you're changing, or even why you no longer align with what you once did. In many cases, people who don't understand your growth might talk behind your back, criticize your decisions, or try to make you feel guilty for changing. They might even question your motives, suggesting that you're being selfish, disloyal, or abandoning the person you used to be. But here's a crucial point to reflect on. Why should their lack of understanding stop your progress? The truth is, you are the one on this journey, and only you understand the depths of your experiences, desires, and goals. When you make a decision to change or grow, it's a reflection of your own needs, your internal compass, and your pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself. Everyone has their own path, their own lessons to learn, and their own ways of growing. Just because someone else doesn't understand or agree with your decisions doesn't mean you should stop your progress. Growth isn't about seeking approval from others, especially when their perspective might be clouded by their own fears, insecurities, or limitations. Criticism is often a sign of fear of the unknown, fear of change, fear of losing someone or something that has been familiar. When people criticize your growth or try to make you feel guilty, it's important to step back and ask yourself, is this criticism coming from a place of truth, or is it coming from a place of fear? Those who are afraid of change often project their fears on others. They might feel threatened by your growth because it challenges their own comfort zones, their own beliefs, or their own way of life. They might not be ready to face the changes that you're courageously embracing, and instead of supporting you, they may try to hold you back. But you have to ask yourself, is their fear my truth? No, it isn't. Their fear is not your reality. Your truth is the path you're carving for yourself, one step at a time. It's important to recognize that the criticism you face is not necessarily a reflection of your worth, but rather a reflection of what others may fear or struggle to understand. Remember, growth and change are deeply personal processes. It's not about conforming to others' expectations, nor is it about seeking validation from those who may not understand the journey you're on. Embrace your growth, trust your path, and continue moving forward, even if it means going against the grain. Ultimately, your growth is a reflection of your courage to embrace change, to challenge old patterns, and to step into the person you are becoming. If others criticize, let their words pass by like a gentle breeze. Don't allow their fears to become yours. You know your truth, and your truth is the driving force that will keep you progressing, no matter who understands or not. Letting go is a powerful act of self-liberation. It's about releasing things, whether they are people, situations, or even old beliefs that no longer serve your growth. When you let go of the old, you're not just clearing clutter, you're creating space for something better. It's like cleaning out a closet so you can fill it with new clothes that fit your current style. This isn't about loss, but about clearing the way for new opportunities, new people, and the life you've always dreamed of. The things you cling to may feel familiar, but they might also be holding you back. By making space for change, you invite new possibilities to enter your life, things that will help you grow, evolve, and become the person you're meant to be. One of the main reasons people hesitate to let go is the fear of being alone. Solitude can be uncomfortable because it forces us to face our thoughts, emotions, and fears head-on. But what if we reframe solitude as a gift rather than a punishment? Being alone doesn't mean you're abandoned. It means you're free to explore who you are, independent of others' expectations or limitations. Solitude is a space for self-discovery, where you can reconnect with your true essence. It's an opportunity to strengthen your inner voice and make decisions that align with your authentic self. The fear of being alone often stems from the fear of not knowing who you are when no one else is around. But in that solitude, you find your true power. To create space for better things, you must trust that you deserve to live life on your own terms. It's about having the confidence to make choices that align with your values, desires, and aspirations, rather than living according to others' expectations. This doesn't mean disregarding the feelings of others, but it does mean recognizing that your happiness and growth matter too. You have the right to create a life that reflects who you truly are, not who the world thinks you should be. Trusting yourself means understanding that you are worthy of everything you desire: peace, happiness, success, and love. It means you have the power to say no to things that don't serve you and yes to opportunities that bring you closer to your dreams. Change starts with you. It's easy to feel stuck, to believe that external circumstances are the reason things aren't changing. But true transformation happens within. Recognizing your power to change is the first step toward creating a life you're proud of. It may require courage and effort, but it's always within your reach. You have the power to transform your life by making small, conscious decisions every day, decisions that align with your goals, values, and dreams. The only thing holding you back from embracing your power to change is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, or fear of discomfort. But real change only happens when you step into the unknown and trust that you have everything you need within you to navigate it. Take a moment to reflect. What is really holding you back from embracing your power to change? Is it fear, self-doubt, or perhaps a past experience that still lingers in your mind? Identifying what's holding you back is crucial in the journey of self-growth. It might be a painful realization, but once you acknowledge it, you can start the process of letting go and moving forward. Remember, the only way to embrace change is by understanding what's keeping you stuck. Self-awareness is the key to unlocking your potential. When you recognize what's holding you back, you can take the necessary steps to break free and create space for better. The power to change your life is in your hands. You just have to decide to take the first step. Letting go and creating space for better is not always easy, but it's always worth it. You deserve to live a life that aligns with your true self. Embrace the solitude, trust in your journey, and take the bold step toward creating the life you've always dreamed of. Trusting the process isn't just a concept. It's a powerful life principle that holds the potential to transform your life. But it starts with one critical step: letting go. And yes, letting go can feel uncomfortable. It can feel uncertain, even terrifying at times, because it means releasing control over things that may have been part of your life for a long time: habits, relationships, jobs, or even old versions of yourself. But here's the truth. The road to healing and growth is rarely a straight line. It's more like a winding path full of bumps, unexpected turns, and even moments where you feel like you're going backward instead of forward. In these moments, it's easy to get discouraged. It can feel like nothing is happening, like the world is against you, or like you'll never get to where you want to be. But this is exactly where trusting the process becomes most important. When you trust the process, you're choosing to believe that life, the universe, or whatever you believe in has a plan for you, even if it doesn't make sense at the moment. It means surrendering to the idea that there's a bigger picture at play, even when you can't see it. Letting go of what no longer serves you, perhaps the hardest but most crucial step. We often hold on to things that no longer bring us peace or joy because they're familiar or comfortable, even if they're holding us back from the life we truly want. Letting go isn't about forgetting or abandoning what's been meaningful. It's about releasing the emotional weight, the fear, and the attachment to things that keep you from moving forward. It's like clearing clutter from your mind and heart so that you can make room for something new, something better. You already have everything you need. It's easy to feel like you're lacking something in your life, whether it's resources, support, knowledge, or confidence. But the truth is, you already have everything within you to create the life you desire. Trusting the process is about recognizing your own potential and inner strength. Even when you're in a moment of uncertainty, the journey of healing and growth starts with you. And once you believe in your own ability to navigate challenges, the world begins to open up in ways you couldn't have imagined. Healing and growth take time. Trusting the process means accepting that healing isn't instantaneous. Growth is incremental. There will be moments of progress and setbacks. There will be days when you feel on top of the world and days when you feel like you're stuck in the same place. But each step, whether forward or backward, is a part of your journey. It's all contributing to who you're becoming. Even when you can't see it, the best way to honor the process is by being patient with yourself. Knowing that what feels like a struggle today might be the very thing that makes you stronger tomorrow. Alignment happens when you're ready. The universe, or life, has a way of aligning things in your favor when you're ready to receive them. But readiness isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about being open to change, growth, and new opportunities. It's about having the courage to move forward, even when the path is unclear. Trusting the process means trusting that what's meant for you will find its way to you. But it can only happen when you let go of the things that are holding you back and make space for new possibilities. This is a turning point. Are you willing to surrender to the uncertainty? Are you ready to step forward, even when the road ahead is unknown? It's a question that only you can answer. But know this, by trusting the process, you're not walking alone. The journey may be difficult, but with each step, you'll discover that you're stronger than you thought. You'll discover that there's beauty in the struggle, wisdom in the challenges, and peace in knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. Trusting the process is about faith. Faith in yourself, faith in life, and faith that even when things don't make sense right now, everything is leading you to where you need to be. It's not about instant gratification or easy answers. It's about believing that no matter what, you are exactly where you need to be in this moment. And when the time is right, the pieces will fall into place. All you need to do is trust. As you continue on your journey, remember that the process is never as linear as we hope, but it's always moving forward in ways we might not understand. Trust that every step, no matter how small or uncertain, is a step toward the person you're becoming and the life you're creating. The challenges you face today, the obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, they're part of your growth. And when you trust the process, you give yourself permission to embrace the discomfort, knowing it's temporary. You allow space for change, for healing, and for the magic that happens when you let go of what no longer serves you. So, take a deep breath and let go. Trust that you have everything you need within you to create the life you deserve, even when it's hard, even when it doesn't make sense. Trust the process, and know that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. So there you have it. Being happy alone is all about discovering your own strength, enjoying your own company, and embracing the beauty of solitude. Remember, happiness isn't something you find. It's something you create from within. If you found value in this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Share with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more insights. Until next time, take care, stay happy, and remember, being content alone is the first step to truly enjoying life.